AdamHarry with
JayArr.
We're both from BoLS Souls, and today we're going to be taking a quick tour of the lore of the new Nighthaunt Battle Tome. Just kidding, it's a tomb.
It's a battle tomb.
It's a battle tomb. It is a tomb if you're Nighthaunts. It's a new faction, new-ish faction that was first introduced in the Legions of Nagash book in the previous edition of the game. It is now back with a ton more lore, a ton more units, a whole bunch of really cool models.
And
I'm super excited about this.
Terrifying art.
This book is chock full of new art.
I don't want to be there.
Amazing. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So tell me about the Nighthaunts.
Yeah, I have been tasked with going over the lore. We're going to try to do it real fast and kind of concise, but to start, I actually need to back up a little bit. We need to talk about the events in Malign Sorcery real fast. Malign Portents, which led to Malign Sorcery. So, even further back.
What?
In Malign Portents, it's the culmination of a plan Nagash had since the time in the Legends of Myth when he felt betrayed by Sigmar.
Yeah.
Sigmar and the alliance of all of the pantheon of Sigmar's gods. Nagash always felt like an outsider. One, because he's the god of death, but two, because he kind of had this feeling that Sigmar was stealing from him, and it turns out he was. It was the whole soul thief thing that that Nagash has dubbed Sigmar as. And that culminated with the birth of the Stormcast Eternals, which was pretty much all the evidence that Nagash needed to be like, you know what, I'm out.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple millennia, his plans come to fruition. There, in the realm of Shyish, there is grave sand, this black pearl-like sand that's at the edges of the realm, and it's concentrated amethyst magic. It's concentrated death magic.
Right.
And so Nagash has been gathering it to the center of his realm.
Right, like legions of undead were carrying it slowly over time.
Here's the thing. Those legions of undead skeletons that were carrying it, they could only carry like 1 grain at a time. So when we're talking about legions of guys over a millennias of time, like some of these skeletons either died. The reason they could only carry 1 piece of sand at a time was it was so potent that it would further decompose their decomposed corpses.
Sure.
Some of these things like ended up just being like nubs walking back with a piece of sand.
Wow.
Anyway, they gathered up all this grave sand and they formed the Black Pyramid. And this inverted pyramid that Nagash was using, he was with the help, I guess, or under the direction of Archon the Black, who was actually in control of the construction, with Nagash like giving him orders on how to do stuff. He was the one overseeing everything. It's very complicated. This is all in Legions of Nagash. Anyway, they get finished, or they're about to finish the big ritual, and wouldn't you know it, some Skaven have snuck on board.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. Through some tunneling and some tricks like that. You can read about this in the Malign Portents final chapter. But they get in there, and this, you gotta understand, this thing is built to such specific specifications that one Skaven gets in there with his little Triskelion weapon, and he chips out 1 stone, and it starts to rumble. The whole pyramid starts to rumble. He chips out a 2nd stone, and it just starts spinning uncontrollably. Right. All this concentrated magic is now out of balance. Nagash can't control it, and it sinks down into the realm and forms basically this amethyst black hole, if you can believe that, of just raw death magic.
Yeah, that's the nadir of Shyish.
Yes, and this triggers the Necroquake, which was the ultimate goal for Nagash, but now it's a little bit out of whack. The Necroquake ripples throughout all the different realms, and the Necroquake awakens these hordes of ghosts and geists that have been resting, essentially the Nighthaunts. So that's where we're at now, is all these Nighthaunts show up, and these guys show up and they wreck face, like across the mortal realms. It's because, one, they're ethereal, they can fly, they can get anywhere, they can go through walls. They just show up unannounced, quietly, quiet as death, and then scare people, kill people, cause a bunch of ruckus. Unfortunately, they are very unorganized, so they don't ever like take territory. They just cause a bunch of shock and awe, and cause this problem. Nagash is like, oh, these guys are good, but they need some direction. I, as Nagash, the Lord of Death, I'm going to appoint a new Mortarch, and that Mortarch is going to be the one that's going to corral the Nighthaunts. That's where we meet Lady Oleander. Lady Oleander was ambitious.
Yeah.
She used her feminine ways and wiles to climb the social ladder, but along the way she caused a lot of grief to a lot of people.
Because she was like a Black Widow.
Kind of like a Black Widow. Yeah, she like would kill husbands or rivals socially and stuff like that. She caused a lot of grief to a lot of people. She eventually takes over this city and just she's just horrible.
Yeah.
And the whole time she's wearing this veil to hide her tears. But a part of me thinks she was probably giggling and crying at the same time at the way that she was getting away with all these things.
Sure.
Long story short, she dies.
Right.
Shockingly enough, it happens. Nagash is not without a twisted sense of justice.
So what does he do?
He curses her. Everybody that dies, by the way, and they go to the realm of the Shaiish, Nagash curses with whatever he feels appropriate. So for her, he caused her to feel all the grief that she caused in life.
Oh no!
For eternity. So those tears were no longer fake. That's why when it came time to find a leader for the Nighthaunts, Nagash wanted somebody that was ambitious, that was smart, but could rally folks around her to lead these undead ghosts, essentially. And he thought the more target grief was none other than Lady Oleander. So he appointed her to that. She sets out this kind of banshee wail and summons these Nighthaunts, and she actually is able to organize them.
Cool.
One of her first things she does is Chaos obviously has taken some footholds in the realms, and she actually helps to fight back Chaos. Ooh. And she's pretty successful, but she's really ambitious, but she doesn't quite have like a full grasp on the warfare of the realm. So Nagash is like, you need some muscle. So he goes and finds the Craven King, Kudros.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his last name.
Valentine?
Yeah, whatever. The Craven King.
Yeah.
In life, he was a usurper. He wanted power. He wanted to rule more than anybody else. So in death, Nagash curses him by basically making these two get married. But she's the one in charge for eternity. So he's actually stuck always serving her. He's got power, but he will never have rule. He also has like a really powerful scepter that Nagash is blessed. So blessed. But he's the muscle. So she's the brain, he's the muscle. And then we meet Reikener the Grimhailer. Reikener was like a really powerful necromantic wizard in life. And he wanted to be like Nagash. He wanted to overcome death using necromancy.
Right.
And he had gathered a bunch of acolytes in this, and he basically was willing to sacrifice them. And he was using this power. Of course, Nagash catches wind of this, and he's like, okay, when you die, you are, one, you're going to die. You're not going to overcome death. And you're going to work for me now. Because you have raised acolytes who will use necromancy, you are going to hunt them down for me. So if anybody gets too powerful, I'm sending you after them. And his acolytes actually turned into soul wax, which he has formed candles out of, and he can like smash them out to make his powers better. And you're gonna find those themes of a twisted justice, at least in Nagash's eyes, a twisted punishment. Thank you, from Nagash throughout all of these units, these new units.
Cool.
So like Knights of Shrouds, those guys were leaders of men who betrayed their men to get Nagash's blessing, and they ended up like killing them, and now they work for him now, but at the same time they still feel the weight of their betrayal, and they're haunted by it, and now they're ghosts. Chain Gas, Spirit Tormentors, those guys are doomed to like try to capture others. The Glaive Wraiths, I think GW's talked about those guys. Those are the guys that have like look like they have like rat horns or rat helm or rat skeletons.
Right.
But actually those aren't. They're this twisted amalgamation of man and horse. Those are horse skulls. And
why horses?
So they were huntsmen in life and they killed for sport, and now in death they hunt for Nagash. So they're these, kind of weird man ghost horse spirits.
Yeah, that's really
crazy
cool.
Life. And the more you read about all of them, all of the new units, you really get that sense of lore in the book. I think it's really well done, lore-wise. It adds a lot of new stuff. You can see like the full model rings there. Yeah, I really like the Nighthaunts. I really like the direction Games Workshop has gone with them.
No, they're amazing. Yeah. Like they're a perfect example of their new like aesthetic and stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't wait to see what else they do.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on the rest of the models. JayArr, you've seen the ones I've been working on. They're pretty sweet.
They're delicious.
Yeah, I'm really liking the Nighthaunts. There's a ton of cool lore in here. There's a ton of cool pictures. I definitely recommend checking it out. So, yeah, that's it for the quick tour of the Nighthaunt lore. I'm AdamHarry.
I'm JayArr.
And thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.